everyone. So today I don't feel like going out, so we're just gonna have a chat. Also don't have any pants. Don't worry, it's covered. It's just that it's still cold. It's still hot, but it's not cold enough for me to put on like a trackie. Yeah. Anyway. Don't want to go outside today, and I don't want to record anything and edit things today, so this chatty video is it. So I think I also want to talk about how do you deal with the lack of progress in your life. And it's quite obvious, especially if you've been watching this channel for about 10 months now this year, documenting my life. It's definitely, as the person who is living the life, I feel extremely stuck, and probably I really appreciate the audience that left because I would have left if this is not my life. I would have left from my own life. I mean, how good is that? Like, you can just go and don't have to tune in. But if you are living your life and there's no progress, how do you cope with it? So this is how I cope, or maybe not cope, I guess. Meditation, I'm not sure if this is the answer for a lot of people or not, or whether this is actually worsening my symptoms of being on a freeze mode, meaning that you're feeling like you're paralyzed and you aren't able to make any kind of decisions or choices in your life. But I feel meditation is something I'm sticking with this year, especially. I am doing the pineal gland breathing technique from Joe Dispenza this year. The squeezing of all your chakras, and then you go like, and then you focus on the top of your head, and then you release your breath, and then all the spinal cord fluid will rush into your brain. The whole purpose is to put a mechanical pressure onto your pineal gland, because supposedly there is a crystal in there that if you put a mechanical pressure, it will produce like healing chemicals into your body, etc., etc. To be honest, it has been 10 months. I'm not sure if I'm doing it correctly, because you haven't seen any kind of result tangibly here on the channel. I haven't seen any tangible result on the channel. So this year has been extremely long and non-ending, but not in a good way. I feel like if it's a good year, you just want to have it as a non-ending year. You're like, yeah, I want to ride this, right? So first, meditation. I feel the thing recently, the past maybe day or two, and I do still do this particular one occasionally, is yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is a meditation that is scanning your body, and then you bring your awareness to that part of the body. So the meditation guide would say to you, put your attention on your smallest toe, and then the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, the thumb, the big toe, and then, so let's say it's on your right feet, and put your attention on your right ankle, on your right shin, on your right calf, on your right knee, your right upper thigh, lower thighs, your pelvis area, and then you go to your left toe, your first toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, big toe, and then your left ankle, your left shin, your left calf, your left knee, your left thigh, and you just keep going like that. And every time the guide basically point out a body part in your body. You just bring your awareness there. And this particular meditation guide I find to be the most relaxing. I find my body actually relaxes, because there are other meditations like the contract and release technique, which is like you contract like your muscle and then you release it, you contract it and you release it. I think it's helpful for some people, but it's not as helpful for me. The only reason I still do the like part of that meditation, which is like the not kundalini, the pineal gland technique, which is like you have to contract like your lower stomach and then all your chest area and all the way to your pineal gland, is because I'm not being sincere doing the meditation. I'm aiming for a goal, because all these testimonials on the internet basically say that it produces miracles. 10 months in, every day I'm doing it, you know. So that's my goal, which is completely not recommended, I guess, because I feel like you're chasing a miracle that is uncertain and anecdotal. Anyway, but I'm doing it, and I'm not saying you should do it too, but I would recommend Yoga Nidra actually, because that would probably is my favorite one, but because no one is saying that it brings miracles, so I can't really recommend it. But if you want to relax, I feel that's the one that I feel most relaxed with. Even 10 minutes relax me straight away. And it's just simpler awareness of your body, and it's a scanning thing. But the one that I'm doing religiously is the pineal gland technique breathing one. So that's the first one. I am doing that meditation to deal with this feel like never ending purgatory. The second one, which is this vlogging, by recording. I used to just write down like things, but now I'm using the video as a recording device. No, that's wrong. I mean, like that's the recording instrument that I have chosen for this year, because previously I usually just write it down in manually in a journal or in a blog. So writing is definitely an outlet to cope with a series of catastrophizing thoughts and anxiety thoughts and emotions and all things like that, and it has been my predominant method to deal with it ever since I was a kid. But this year it's definitely vlogging, and of course like vlogging is a bit hard because you sort of have to edit a lot of your thoughts, because it can't be unfiltered 100%. Even with ChatGPT, talking to ChatGPT, I can't go unfiltered, because if you go a little bit off the mainstream, it will say you are violating our policy and terms and conditions. And I'm like, what? And I'm not even saying anything outside like too like overly left, and it's just like just things that you say in your real life, and it was just you are violating our policy, and I'm like, what? Seriously? This is even really tame things that you said, and it's just even ChatGPT is really sensitive. So if AI software is so sensitive, imagine with people. So that's how I deal with it. I vlog, I record, because one of the things that is, especially with vlogging, that is good, especially when you deal with this sense of nothing is going on, everything is so stuck and everything, it makes me look at what actually happened in that day. For example, like I went here, and I went here, and also like I went to Rouse Hill, like Talawong, earlier this month, but I felt like it was just really recent, like yesterday or something. Not yesterday, but it was almost a month ago. It's still within this month, but it was like 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's a long time ago, and I did that. And also, you know, sometimes I go and meet the friend with a doggo, and I think to myself, oh yeah, I did that. So it's like, it's recording these little things to make sure that I remind myself that there are things that have changed. For example, that there are, because like we have visited places that we never visited before, so that's new. And we have furry friend now. We have doggo that we meet every now and then, which is, that's different. That's not the same as last year. YouTube is monetized now, so that's different. That's not that that wasn't the case last year. So I guess like vlogging is kind of recording that day-to-day progress, at least, or differences. Yeah, of course, it also noted the negative side as well, and the potential of negativeness outside. But it definitely makes me feel like, yeah, it's not the progress that you might want, like, you know, having become a millionaire or a billionaire, amen. But there are additional stuff that are here that wasn't there before, and I think that also should be counted. And the way it was counted in this sense was through vlogging, because I have evidence of video proof of what actually had happened, or the places that I have been to. And that's another way that I'm coping. So that's two. So first is meditation, second is recording it in a journal or a vlog. What else am I doing? Third is definitely something I should be doing a lot more, which is exercise, but I don't. Yoga and walking, definitely, like purposely just for exercise, walking wise, not going outside and shopping and walking around, even though I consider that exercise. But the one that actually makes a huge difference is the one where I just walk for the purpose of walking, which is like for actual just exercise walking. I don't do it as often now, but I really should. But there's a downside to that as well, because like it feels good on that day when I'm doing the exercise, but the next day it feels as if that all my limbs are gonna be chopped off, because it just felt really heavy. But when you are walking like that, when you do exercise and when you walk, it gives this illusion of progress. I like that sentence because I got it from Harry Potter. I think it's book 7 or book 6. I think maybe. Is it book? Maybe book 7 part 1, I think. Where they were being, you know, chased, and then they were in London suddenly, and they kind of like transported to London, and they were saying to that, and then suddenly they saw a tea, like a cafe, and then they stopped and they're sitting down, and then someone was saying we should be going, because sitting down, you know, makes them feel really anxious, because walking at least giving them the perceptions, that the illusion that things are progressing. And I feel like that's probably what walking does to me. And so that's how I cope mostly. I record things, I walk, and I meditate. That's my core 3 at the moment that I deal with. And talking to people don't really help me at all for some reason. In the beginning, therapy was very useful because I have someone there to listen to my immediate stress response. But long term, I haven't felt, like, you know, another change. Like, I went for therapy for the first time in my life, even though it doesn't really feel any difference than when I was doing personal development back in my 20s, 20 years ago, because that actually felt a lot more intense. Because if you have gone through, like, you know, Anthony Robbins seminars, I've never been to an Anthony Robbins seminars, but like those kind of self-help conferences or seminars, those are a lot more tense. Like it's here, therapy is here. It's very low, it's not as intense at all, like it's just here. If you go through that self-development seminars and courses, it's here, it's really high intensity. So I don't know if that makes a difference. It's just, I really appreciate the fact that it's there, and I appreciate that it's definitely someone to support you emotionally. I feel like but for some reason, after I've gone through it, it's not something I want to pay out of pocket for myself, because it's not something that is moving you forward, moving me forward. I think that should be said there, to be more specific. I'm not sure what I need to make myself move forward, but yeah, that's one thing that is different this year compared to last year. So there are a lot of things that are different, but this is why you need to unpack it and record it, so that you don't really, you know, spend too much into your own delusions of nothing is changing. Well, I just counted a few changes that has been made this past year, and it's quite significant, albeit small. Yeah, what was I saying? Is there anything else? I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, talking to people don't really make a lot of difference for me. Like, it doesn't make me cope with the feeling, because when you talk to people, you also have to see whether they have the capacity and the ability to deal with what you're dealing. And I find that most people don't, and this is pretty normal. They don't want to help you in a sense. They just want to be seen as if that they're helping you, but in reality, they just want the credit without the work in general. And I think that's just the way normal society works, I guess. And if it's not, that means I haven't met anyone that is genuine and sincere in my whole 40 years of life that would like to help someone without having to have strings attached, which is probably quite normal. And you're supposed to give back if you have received help. Like, that's the norm, and that's the way it should be, I think, maybe. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going. So that's as far as I have my brain works for today. I think that's the capacity. Yeah, so that's how I cope with the feeling of being stuck. Meditating, vlogging, walking, not talking to people. That's not really. I think I want to try to just be around animals a lot more. Like maybe pets, not like, you know, animals. If I feel like if I say animals, it'd be like cows, like lambs, like not cattle, just pets, like domestic cute pets, you know, not. And maybe they're healing a little bit. I think they brought a lot of healings, because it's weird. Like, if a human behaved like that, I would just feel a bit disgusted. But if a pet behaved like that, like, I need your attention, please, it's like, oh my god, it's so cute. So yeah, probably I just need to have access to that. I have had a look at, you know, doing dog walking, for example, like the small dogs, or pet sittings, but all of that needs like an insurance, and also they require someone that probably have a driving license, so that if something happens to the pet, we can drive them to the vet. So I don't have a driving license, so I cannot do that. But it is something I consider because I don't have the capacity to adopt one, because vet bills are very expensive. It can go through the tens of thousands. And I don't want to be one of those owners who complain that they have to pay the vet bill, because I feel like I'm 40. I know that I should have the financial backing even for a vet. It's the same like kids, but at least with kids, right, like in Australia, you can go to Medicare and it's being paid for by the government. You have free healthcare. It's not the same with pets. Anyway, I thought I would talk to you, and that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow. Also, a reminder, starting next week, Silent Vlogs is back, and we only have 2 more months of this vlogging 5 days a week, guys. So next week, Silent Vlogs, and then one talking vlog, which is probably a voiceover, because I realize a voiceover is a lot easier than talking like this. This actually takes a lot of energy out of me, but it's better than going outside today, because my anxiety is a bit, not really, my heart is not pounding, but my whole body feels anxiety. It's like these bubbles that is just like always like in high intensity, and always hyper alert everywhere. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye everyone.